Hey everyone, I recently went through a huge Terraria phase, something like 20 hours in 2 weeks or something like that, which I know that's really not that much at all for most people, but for me, that's a hell of a lot. That is simply bananas. I tend to be a very sporadic gamer these days. So I've loved Terraria ever since I was a kid, but to this day, I have still never beaten it. So this time around, I was determined to play through all the way to the end solo. So I generated a brand new world, I built a fairly nice base, cleared out all the pre-hard mode bosses, got to the underworld and stopped playing entirely. Go figure. But playing this game again made me realize something that I will probably never stop thinking about, and I want you to never stop thinking about it. There is so much gore in Terraria. Obviously it's pixel art on a very small scale and you can turn it off so it's kinda whatever, but if you stop for even just a second to observe the world around you, you'll find that there is gore everywhere. I mean, half the enemies in the game are covered in blood or horribly mutilated in one way or another. Have you seen the Crimson? Need I say more? Hell, if you swing an axe the wrong way, boom, there goes a rabbit. Look at Demon Eyes, for example. They are literally floating, severed eyeballs. That is the epitome of gore, is it not? And they're everywhere too. There's simply no escaping the eye of Big Brother. And speaking of Big Brother, you remember this motherfucker? Remember his second phase? Imagine walking outside one night and seeing this guy just hanging out, minding his own business. Maybe he's walking his dog or something. I don't know. I don't care. So this is Bonerstone. He's my little wizard guy and he's the hero of my world. It's his job to protect the many citizens of Terraria and ensure that they aren't endlessly and ruthlessly killed over and over again. Without Bonerstone, this world would be in ruin. Slimes would graze the land unchecked, happily slaughtering innocent rabbits left and right. The old man's curse would continue to haunt him, confining him to his little bony dungeon. Zombies would overrun the land, terrorizing my poor guide Bradley. Oh god, poor Bradley. All he's got to his name is a shitty little bow and a prayer to Jesus that he won't be killed in the death trap that is my apartment complex. But I digress. Bradley is one of the many NPCs in this game that is truly at the mercy of fate. In fact, there's a line you can get when interacting with the merchant early game where he says, quote, "I hope a scrawny kid like you isn't all that is standing between us and Cthulhu's eye." Well, Ralph, I sure hope you like swimming. What I'm trying to say is that these NPCs are virtually defenseless, man. I mean, Bonerstone is their only hope. And that's just how Terraria is. That's just how the game works. It's you versus the world, and you know, these NPCs are gonna do shit. As a hero of Terraria, it's your duty to protect them and forever rid the land of the fucking evil that plagues it, dog. It's up to you. But let me ask you this. What if you weren't the hero? What if you, as in the viewer yourself, were suddenly plunged into the world of Terraria? Would you have what it takes? Could you yourself slay over 30 different horrifying bosses? Could you take on their endless swarms of minions? Could you successfully overcome a goblin army attack? What about multiple? Could you survive against even one zombie? It's questions like these that I find myself always pondering when I play this game, and no matter how I look at it, I always come to the same conclusion. It would be terrifying to live in the world of Terraria. Now don't get me wrong, I understand that the world of Terraria is filled to the brim with powerful weapons, unstoppable armors, gravity-defying trinkets and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you're still human. You still have to work to get these things. You have to go on long mining trips, adventure deep underground, go toe-to-toe with otherworldly creatures, and on top of all that, you can still die. All it takes is one pressure plate, one wrong step, to open up the ceiling and drop a 4,000-pound boulder on your head. To say that the world of Terraria is hostile is an understatement. When I was a kid, I used to fantasize about living in this very world. I would picture myself running around super fast with Hermes boots and building towers to space, constructing long minecart tracks that connect one ocean to the other. I envisioned a wonderland in which I could take on hordes of undead, face the mightiest of foes, and truly become the hero of Terraria. But now, at almost 21 years old, I realize that that would be hell. And that's before you even make it to hell itself. Let me tell you a story. A story about you, the viewer. Let's say you are you, and you have somehow stumbled your way into the world of Terraria. In your travels, you've realized that you've developed amnesia, and you know nothing about where you've come from or this place that you've come to. And it's here, in this colorful, mysterious world, that you first meet a strange man called the Guide. He gives you a little background on the place, and shows you how to use your shiny new copper tools and sends you on your way. So in return, you cut down some trees and you build the man a house. It's the right thing to do. That night, while talking with the Guide, you hear a repetitive knocking begin at your door. Excited by the prospect of meeting new people, you swing it wide open, only to be met with the mangled, hollow stare of a bloody figure. Immediately, the figure shuffles inside and starts swinging wildly at you, prompting you with only two options. You can either A, attempt some sort of combat with your measly short sword, which you've never used on anybody before, or B, you can run. So you run. You burst out the back door and into the night, unaware of the horrors awaiting you beyond the tree line. Behind you, the harrowing screams of the Guide echo throughout the forest as you get further and further from the horrid creature. Eventually you slow down, realizing that you can't run forever, and it's here, under the cover of total darkness and the sliver of an unforgiving moon, that you can just barely make out the growl of something prowling nearby. And before you know it, that growl is accompanied by footsteps, which quickly turn into the raking of gnarled claws down your back. So you begin building. You start placing blocks higher and higher, towering above the trees in a wild, desperate escape from whatever is lurking below. You're tired now. Your body has become wrought with deep gashes and your vision has drawn blurry. Despite this, just below, you can barely make out the outline of not one, but many of those creatures from before. All of them mindlessly shuffling and groaning about, absolutely intent on reaching you, even if proven undoubtedly impossible. The screams of the Guide still ring in your ears as you sit atop your tower, wondering what the next step could possibly be. And in your contemplation, you fail to notice the silent, monstrous eye that has flown undetected past your head. Soon it rears, once more coming swooping at you, perplexing your mind with the sheer impossibility of the creature. But this time, miraculously, you drive your measly blade forward in hopes of skewering the beast, and to your amazement, it connects. And now in your possession is but a mere sample of the horrors that lurk in this otherwise fantastic world. This was only night one, the first of many, and by far the easiest to come. This is the world that Bonerstone lives in, and it's the same world that you lived in with your own character many years ago. It's a history that we all share, and ironically, a horrifying slice of heaven that we all have access to. The world of Terraria is an anomaly in that way, equal parts incredible, childlike wonder as well as incomprehensible abomination. It's a masterpiece, really. A terrifying masterpiece. Terraria is a game that I hold very close to my heart, and it's honestly amazing that to this day I still haven't beaten it for as long as I've been playing it. I have such fond memories of the many, many worlds I had as a kid, running around, exploring all the biomes, digging up meteorites, and building up to the Sky Islands, getting my ass whooped by goblins. Man, I remember deleting a world and restarting because of goblins. That's how bad they were for me as a kid. Also, I don't know how to connect this thought, but I have this funny memory of playing Terraria on like an iPad with my friend a long time ago. And one of us found that magic item called the Golden Shower, and I was like, oh my god, I got a golden shower! And my stepdad was in the room and he was just like, you got a what? As a kid, I never really thought about just how much blood and gore there was in this game, and nor did I ever consider just how fucking crazy and hostile the Terraria universe is. I guess my goal with this video is to make you think about that more too, because it's been on my mind so much, actually playing it again. But playing this game again, the enemies are just non-stop. I mean, unless you're actively in an enclosed space, you are being ganged up on, or at least about to be ganged up on. Like, it's just crazy. I swear I'm playing Left 4 Dead sometimes. Of course, as a kid, I also never considered just how absurdly scary it would be to live in this universe. Terraria is overflowing with enemies that can be considered horrors beyond comprehension. Everywhere you look is another creature that's out to get you, and they're all petrifying when you think about how big they would be in person. Even slimes, the most basic and abundant enemy, would be at least startling to come across. And that's not even considering bosses, which I've barely touched on, not to mention events like blood moons and shit either. I mean, during a blood moon, even stupid ass zombies can open your doors. And those cute little bunnies roaming around that you kept accidentally slaughtering are now suddenly out for revenge. I could go on and on. Terraria is simply chock full of unimaginable terror like that, and it's great. I love that that's the case. I mean, it's an extraordinarily unique game that has proven to last the test of time, and I commend the developers for that. It's not easy to make a game so classic and so memorable, nor is it easy to casually include so much eldritch horror into an otherwise child-friendly game. So good job, Relogic. You've given me an interesting topic to write a shitty video essay about. And if any of you at Relogic happen to be watching this, thank you very much for the good memories. One day, I'll beat your game, but today is not that day, because I have to go back to lying dormant and not uploading on this channel for another 5 months. So thanks for watching, and peace out.